Right to the action, the 125-pounders, Jody Strittmatter of Iowa, the defending champion. He is in the black. His opponent, a number 2 seed, Leroy Vega of Minnesota, junior from Portage, Indiana. Strittmatter, we told you, won it a year ago. He is ranked 2nd in the United States. And he and Vega have met 6 times. Strittmatter's won the first 5. But Vega just beat him last month for the first time.
Yes, and that was quite an event. As you said, Strittmatter's beaten him 5 straight until the last meeting. And I honestly believe that Vega's confidence level has really risen since that time. Obviously, Strittmatter, though, is the number 1 seed, and he would be the favorite.
Strittmatter wrestling for the Hawkeyes. Iowa needing every point. At this junction, it's probably not feasible to beat Minnesota for this team championship this year, but they certainly want to finish 2nd, the Hawkeyes do. And Minnesota looking for its 2nd team championship in 3 years. Remember, this is a team sport. Strittmatter from Evansburg, Pennsylvania. 3rd in the Nationals a year ago. Vega was 5th. So these two know each other well, and at this point, what's the fatigue factor? They've wrestled, 2 matches in the space of 24 hours. This is their 3rd. They going on adrenaline, or?
Well, honestly, they're very fit at this point in the season. I mean, if you're not fit now, you're never going to be there. So they're both well trained. This is going to be a match of who really can put the technique together and tough those things out and score points. I've been told that Vega feels like there's some things he can do against Strittmatter that he's learned. We'll have to see if that works.
1:10 to go in the first period. First of 3, of course, no score yet. These two still feeling each other out. Both had comparatively easy rides into the finals. Strittmatter with 2 major decisions, 10-2 and 10-1. Vega winning 14-3 and 8-3 in his 2 matches.
By the way, Strittmatter is a transfer from the University of Pennsylvania, Johnstown, and won the Division II Nationals, and then, of course, transferred out to Iowa City.
No score. Tom Galen, the official. Joe Bartel is the assistant. Less than 30 seconds to go in period number 1. No score. First match.
Strittmatter in on that leg. He made a nice shot. Now the countering by Vega is to lock the trunk, bring the trunk toward him, and he knows where that sideline is as well. But now Strittmatter's turned him back toward the inside. 10 seconds to go.
Strittmatter pushing the advantage here.
If he can get that right arm over, but look at how he's crowding. Vega's crowding him. No points.
End of the first period, no scoring. Strittmatter of Iowa, Vega, you see there, of Minnesota. The top 2 wrestlers in their weight class and 2 of the top 3 in the country. And you can see the numbers. 3rd in the nation for Vega, defending Big Ten champ, and number 1 in the country. Check it. Number 2 is Strittmatter. And there's the record, 5-1 in favor of the Iowa wrestler, Jody Strittmatter. Start of period number 2. And the first point on the escape that is an unintentional intentional as Vega let him go.
The release move.
So Iowa with a 1-0 lead over Minnesota at this point.
Again, now this 2nd and 3rd periods are 2 minutes long. Of course, the first is 3. So sometimes I find myself thinking, my gosh, that period went fast, but obviously just a 2-minute period in the 2nd and 3rd. Ooh! Boy, that
Vega again.
That looked
now
awfully good.
Oh, got the leg.
On the recounter. The counterattack by Strittmatter.
And now a 3-0 lead for Jody Strittmatter. Halfway through the match. Back they'll come, and Strittmatter has taken command. Strittmatter, the outstanding wrestler a year ago with these championships.
Of course, we got the body build different. Strittmatter got much more length than Vega, and that sometimes makes it difficult for the bottom man to get out of there because he's got all kinds of length to take care of before he can escape.
Strittmatter on top in black from Iowa.
Crossbody ride. He's controlling that near leg, working on the head and the far arm of Vega. Really a tough ride. Stalemate call.
26 seconds to go, period number 2. Vega looking to his corner, Coach Jay Robinson. Jay, one of the many veteran coaches, 15 seasons in Minnesota.
Well, he's done a terrific job up there. He's built it over time, and it's solid as can be right now with some great recruits coming in the future.
10 seconds to go, period 2. Strittmatter. 3 points this period, has the edge. Great crowd today, packed to the rafters here at West Ryan.
And they're great fans. They know the sport. They're really into it and really appreciate what's happening on the mat.
A lot of gold and black around here, a lot of Iowans.
Well, they're hosting the NCAAs, and of course they made a trip out of town to come here.
And you know how Iowans like to travel. Third period now. Vega down 3-0.
And Vega chose to go on his feet. He didn't want to get down underneath and might not come back out, so he wants to try and win this match working off of his feet on those takedowns.
Vega, third a year ago in these championships. Strittmatter, of course, we told you, the defending champion. A narrow win last year, 3-2 over Jeremy Hunter of Penn State. Now a 3-point lead.
Oh,
and there he goes again.
A deep dive by Strittmatter. And now
Vega, big trouble for Vega.
He can catch him. Oh, you must keep those blades, both blades or part of both blades down for 1 full second.
You see the clock, 1:10, plenty of time for Strittmatter. Maybe too much time for Vega at this point.
Boy, Vega's trying to snake his way around, but he's getting in there. He lost the takedown right there.
2 more points. It's a 5-0 Iowa lead in the final 45 seconds. Jody Strittmatter well on his way to a double victory, a defending championship, a successful defense of his championship.
I should point out that Strittmatter came to our Midland tournament in December and won it for his first time, and looked awfully good in doing it, and became one of the fellows that won 20 Midlands matches in his first 4 tournaments. Now he's got him knocked down. That's a tough place to be. We're right down to 15 seconds.
Counting down to a championship for Iowa. Jody Strittmatter, his second straight Big Ten title. A convincing, emphatic 5-0 victory over Leroy Vega of Minnesota. So a bit of revenge for Strittmatter as well, as Vega had beaten him the last time the two faced each other. Well, you can tell Jody Strittmatter's happy. Better believe it, as he walks off, actually runs off with the first championship of the tournament. Now turning to the 133-pounders, as you take a look here as the key shoot as he grabs the leg of Vega. Strittmatter here.
Then he's going to work that and actually put Vega very close to being pinned. Of course, that didn't happen.
5-0 the final. And Iowa gets some important team points as we move next to the 133-pounders. Another Iowa wrestler, another defending champion who's won 22 straight matches against a surprise of sorts, Kevin Black of Wisconsin. He in the Badger colors on the right in your picture from River Falls, a sophomore against a senior. Juergens, 24-1 on the year. We told you won 2 straight. Won 22 straight. Kevin Black upset both the number 3 and number 2 seeds to get to this point.
Close close, but no takedown, and there it is by Juergens.
Erik Juergens moving quickly.
If Black has had a tremendous tournament, as you mentioned, Mike.
Knocked off Brett Lawrence of Minnesota, number 3 seed, and in fact McNamara, the number 2 seed.
Yep.
And here he is.
And he's number 6 seed in there in the finals, so we know that he's wrestled really above what his seeding was and has looked awfully good.
One of the 2 lowest seeds to make it into this tournament.
And he's going to find out what number 1 is like at this point in time. And Juergens is good. He's a defending champion and one of the number 1 ranked in the country at this weight class, of course.
Juergens with a couple of easy wins, 19-7 and 10-2. Meanwhile, Black, a fall over McNamara to get into the finals. McNamara, the number 2 seed from Michigan State.
Who we saw a year ago in the finals, McNamara, and he was second a year ago. Oh. Juergens hit that so nice that he just penetrated right to that leg.
Off the mat, Joe Bartel, the official here, the assistant Mike McCormick. Right now, Juergens with about 20 seconds of riding time, which you can discuss in terms of what it means for points. Now the allowed escape.
Yes, the riding time is an opportunity to gain 1 more point than your opponent if you ride him a minute more than he rides you. The net difference, if it's a minute, you get 1 point, but that is your most. Another takedown, kind of a power move by Juergens, and he's not a real power kind of wrestler, but he just took it that time.
4-point lead for Erik Juergens. Undefeated in duels in the Big Ten this year is Juergens. Black 23-10 on the season. Juergens' only loss came to Oklahoma State wrestler Charles Walker, of course, Oklahoma State, second ranked in the country.
Yes, and that was considered an upset. And of course, I think Walker has lost some since.
Juergens ranked number 1 now in all the polls.
Nice roll move by Black.
Gets the point on the escape. 25 seconds to go here in period number 1. Erik Juergens of Iowa, the 6-3 lead. Mike Lederman, along with Wrestling Hall of Famer and former Northwestern coach Ken Kraft.
Nice.
Kathy Mundy, our producer-director, and our Fox Sportsnet crew.
Nice action there. Lots of movement. Roll through.
5 seconds left.
Good counter by Black. He did some nice stuff because it looked like he was going to be taken down again.
Juergens.
In deep. Time's running out on him.
And that's the end of period number 1. Erik Juergens, back in a dual meet, defeated Kevin Black, the only time these 2 have met. And you can see the 2 of them. And won by technical fall, 21-6. Start of the second period. And the escape by Juergens. Out to a 4-point lead again.
We're looking at some of that Hawkeye pressure, but Black made the move in and got himself in trouble. He got caught by Juergens on a tip. And he came out of it. The young man has come along at the end of the season quite well.
Black, one of the few underclassmen in the tournament. He is a sophomore and quite a high school wrestler. 160-0 in the preps. That was in the preps.
Well,
quite a record.
That's quite a record, is right. There was a very poorly thrown move by Black. 2
more points for Juergens. 1 minute left in period number 2.
He's got that, what I call that roll action. He elevates with his one leg and takes the guy over his hip, but that didn't work. But you don't see that much anymore. Most of the time, people are trying to get their escapes. They're one-pointers rather than the reversals.
And a
potentially dangerous
hold signaled by the official Joe Bartel. And now Juergens will have top position and will signal the permitted escape. Black tried to reverse on him, but Juergens
straight in. Oh, and a counter attempt. Black is doing some nice things here, but finding himself in some trouble.
He's getting a lesson in experience here with 20 seconds to go in period 2.
Well, he's showing his competitiveness. He's battling and fighting and scrapping and fighting off some points that looked like they were going to be scored by Juergens. That ankle pick has really worked for Juergens. He's been able to score. He still hasn't gotten this one, but he's in that leg nicely. Now it's a matter of following through. Ah, he didn't get it.
Final seconds here in the second period. Erik Juergens will take a 5-point lead into the final 2 minutes. Juergens from Maquoketa, Iowa, where Ken has spent many an evening that he doesn't remember.
I certainly do. I wrestled in that gymnasium a few years ago.
Again, Juergens allowing Black to escape. And as they work from the neutral position, Juergens continues to press the advantage. Juergens last year defeated Pat McNamara, whom Black beat this year on the way to a title, for a title. Close match, 10-8. Juergens here.
Another one of those takedowns, and it was sort of a counter-attack kind of move. Drove straight into him.
We've got a little bit of that match from the year 2000 to put up on Erik Juergens' video trophy wall. He's about 1:25, ready for another one next to it.
Oh boy, he's been able to get to that leg. He hasn't scored every time.
I'll show you Juergens from last year, and he worked very quickly. As
there it is again. He's got that same ankle pick, see?
Meanwhile, he's got Pat McNamara there, and that was a year ago as he went on to victory. And now back to the year 2001. He is up by 5 points with just about 1 minute to go. Iowa starting strong, but Iowa is known to have the heaviest achievement in the lower weight classes.
That's right. They're outstanding stars of the first 3 weight classes. And then you get to T.J. Williams, who we've spoken about.
I'll be seeing T.J. at 157. And a big upset in the heavyweight division on the way to the finals. We'll show you that match later. 45 seconds to go. A comfortable 5-point lead for the Iowa wrestler, Erik Juergens. Looking like his teammate Jody Strittmatter to win his second Big Ten title in a row.
Stalling warning on Black.
You get one of those before they start deducting points.
Okay, we've got 22 seconds, and we're looking at a 5-point lead, a takedown plus the riding time, which Juergens has guaranteed now. That would be a 8-pointer.
Meaning the total number of team points that Iowa would gain as the Hawkeyes are trying to catch Minnesota and failing that to finish a strong second.
Now we've got right now it's 7 points because there was a penalty point for stalling against Black assessed. And Juergens is working. He's working at it. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. No.
12-6 the final. Erik Juergens again, a Big Ten champion. Final 13-6 now. 7 points, missed by 1. But he'll take it. Erik Juergens. So for the second time in 2 matches, Iowa has a championship. Let's take a look at some of the action from the Juergens match.
Again, catch that nice right ankle move, and then the follow, the drive through. He didn't get the takedown, but he had a great penetration, and almost with more mat space, he would have had it.
Well, we'll have more from Welsh Ryan Arena. The Big Ten Wrestling Championships continue. We'll be back in just a minute. Back at Welsh Ryan Arena, Chad Erikson of Minnesota. You see him with his back to you against Doug Schwab, who you all but can see. Schwab from Iowa. We've seen plenty of him the last 2 years. He is looking for a three-peat, his third straight Big Ten championship. These two met once this year. Erikson lost to Schwab narrowly, 5-4. Erikson a junior and Schwab a senior, ranked number 1 in the country. Erikson ranked number 7.
Well, Schwab has proven to be one tough wrestler throughout his career, and he never lets you take a breath. He doesn't let you relax. But Erikson has improved greatly, I think, over the last couple of years. As you say, 5-4 was their only meeting, with Schwab winning it.
13 pins on the year, now 14 with the pin in the semifinal. Leads the Golden Gophers as a team. No score, exactly 1 minute gone. There's a good look at Doug Schwab.
Lot of motion and action on those tie-ups. They both like to move the other guy's head to get something started as a setup for the takedown.
Still no score, 1:46 to go. Doug Schwab in the midst of a 31-match winning streak coming into this tournament. It goes back to the 2000 NCAAs where he finished 3rd.
Oh, attempted fireman's carry by Erikson, and he got stopped on the way, but he came back out, at least didn't lose anything. Oh, straight double.
Schwab now gets 2. First takedown of the match.
Nice move by Schwab. Straight ahead, the basic double leg takedown.
Schwab now trying to get that leg over.
He's got a leg locked, and the Minnesota coach are concerned about maybe some potentially dangerous hold on the legs, on the knee.
Jim Zaleski, the Iowa coach, up at the corner, yelling instructions to his wrestler. Likewise, the assistants in Minnesota trying to lend their help best they can to get Erikson out of this mess.
Their Minnesota coaches are saying, hey, there's no way he can improve.
And there was a potentially dangerous. Schwab has to replace the anklet that had come off.
Erikson trying to work his way into a stand-up, clear the hand, and make the spin move, pivot. He got it. There's the one.
First point for the Minnesota wrestler. It's 2-1, 15 seconds to go, first period. Schwab's got 8 pins this season. There he drives and gets another takedown. To close out the first period, 2 takedowns for Doug Schwab with a 4-1 lead. Well, you got a good idea why. Schwab's ranked number 1 in the nation. Erikson ranked number 7. We'll show you the takedown.
In the lift and the drive through. Oh, he picked that leg nicely. Blocked the leg and took him right over his hip for the takedown.
Back to live action. We start the second period. A 4-1 lead for Doug Schwab, seeking his 3rd consecutive Big Ten championship. Schwab from Osage, Iowa. Erikson from Apple Valley, Minnesota.
I should point out that Doug Schwab's older brother is an assistant coach at the University of Minnesota.
Point taken.
He's not in the coaching chair for Minnesota. Erikson's looks like he's got something working, but he caught his head inside, and if he can get that head out, he can get the score. Now, we've seen that similar to the Vega Strittmatter, but Schwab's got more control of the circumstance.
And he just pressed his advantage there. Schwab was in trouble for a second.
Yes, he was.
Shoulders rotated very close to the mat.
And another takedown by Schwab.
You got to see Jim Zaleski. He's just there. He's going to come over and talk to his wrestler.
There you see it. See how he just drives straight through it. Schwab is he's a bulldozer. He will take you no matter what the circumstance may be. Tough rider.
.40 seconds and counting. A 5-point lead for Doug Schwab. I can't find Brother Marty anywhere. He's probably hiding under a table. Minnesota assistant, you know.
There, well, I guess there's the one.
Cheer, right?
Right. Okay, 14 seconds. If Erikson scored a takedown, he'd be right back in this thing, but he has not been coming too close, so that one time it looked like he had something going.
Final seconds here in period number 2, and Doug Schwab has a 4-point lead going into the final 2 minutes. Well, there you see the wrestlers. Erikson, 25-4 in the season. Doug Schwab, we told you about him. 30-0 with 8 falls.
There's the release.
And it's 6-3 with the intentional point, if you will, granted to Chad Erikson.
Oh, down to that. Then change to the double.
Well, you talk about the idea of 2 for 1. Schwab is just about there. One of the more common questions in wrestling, why do you always allow, or why would a wrestler allow a free point to his opponent? Well, the answer very simply is the opportunity to go 2 for 1.
That's right.
A lot of wrestlers feel much better on their feet than trying to work from them.
Saw a stalemate in that one. He got caught, and Erikson was able to block the thing and get the stalemate out of it. Oh, beautiful.
Once again, a takedown.
Great lift. And now he's trying to elevate that back leg and get back points out of it. Yeah. Just, he didn't get enough count, it appears, to get a near fall. But it was close.
You can either be awarded 2 or 3 back points, depending on the number of seconds you can hold your opponent in that position. And
now we're looking again at a 6-point lead.
in the escape, so it's a 4-point lead, and again the shoot to the leg.
Boy, here we go again. Oh my gosh, Erikson might turn this one into his own takedown, but
he's really, oh, he just had him for a second. He had Schwab for a second.
But now, oh, now he's looking cradle. Erikson had a cradle just for an instant, and he gets the takedown.
And the reverse, so it's now a 2-point match. And things have changed here.
And that's it.
Wow, was that close?
Yeah, it would be 1 point for the riding time. 9-6 final.
Schwab had 2 minutes and 24 seconds of riding time, so a 9-6 decision that was very, very close, when in fact,
here's that cradle, the quick cradle that didn't last long that Erikson was able to put in, but it ultimately gets the takedown.
9-6 the final. More Big Ten wrestling coming up right after this. We're at Welsh Ryan Arena. This is Big Ten wrestling, the 87th championships, and here is our first Illinois wrestler, Adam Tirapelle, and he is a fine one. Ranked second in the country, a defending champion at 149, and he will be going against that man, Jared Lawrence, a sophomore from Sandpoint, Idaho, and the University of Minnesota. Lawrence ranked number 3. And this is a rematch from the finals of a year ago, won by Tirapelle 4-2. The two met earlier this season, another rematch, if you will. Tirapelle won again. Again, it was close, 3-2.
And we should point out, at this time, Iowa has just moved into second place ahead of Illinois. They lead Illinois by 2 team points, 124.5 to 122.5. And Tirapelle has an opportunity to put his team back ahead of Iowa.
And again, before we put too much credence in that, remember all the Illinois wrestlers are yet to come. Tirapelle's the first. And Iowa really has one more event where it's got a chance for a win. And that will be at 157. Here, Tirapelle, who just became the all-time Illinois leader in wins and pins.
And that's quite an accomplishment. He has been a consistent performer down at Champaign for a long, long while.
No scoring here with 1:48 to go, first period. Bill Ross, the lead official. Jim Ramirez, the assistant. Tirapelle, a rare Illinois recruit from outside the Midwest. He's from Clovis, California.
Yes, his dad's a high school coach out there, and his younger brother has signed to come to Illinois this fall.
Must be for the weather. Got a little equipment issue here with Jared Lawrence.
There he goes.
Jared's brother, of course, who is also on the Minnesota roster, defeated earlier in this tournament.
Oh!
And here comes Lawrence with a move, and he gets the first takedown.
Well, he went right from that headgear adjustment right to a takedown, and it worked. And Tirapelle out for the escape, 2-1.
Oh, and good leg grab by. Nothing yet. No points awarded. He's got that leg. Tirapelle's got Lawrence's leg.
And of course, Tirapelle wants to bring him back toward the center to get that score. And Lawrence wouldn't mind going off the mat if it worked. The action took him that way.
.30 seconds left here in period number 1. Tirapelle still can't get his man down. Now
Lawrence has gone off and gone square, as we call it. Went right off the face, and that's where you don't want to give your opponent the angle. He took the angle away from Tirapelle.
Call a stalemate, back to the middle.
Good competitive first period.
And as the two get ready for period 2, we'll show you the year 2000 match between these two. Again, Tirapelle now. This, of course, is at Purdue. And Tirapelle will get the takedown here, and that will be the difference in a 4-2 decision and the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, that was a close one, but Tirapelle was the better man that day.
He trails now 2-1.
Okay, I thought he was going to ride him tougher, but then he released as he came up to his feet.
And we're all tied.
Oh!
Wonderful move.
Beautiful move by Lawrence. Hit that thing just so nicely.
And once again establishes the 2-point lead. Tirapelle 26-1 overall, 9 pins, 7-1 in Big Ten competition this year. Lawrence opened up with 16 straight wins as the allowed escape. It's now 4-3, and look at Lawrence again.
He is on a roll. He's in a zone right now. He believes I can take this man down at will.
Tirapelle, a little bit unnerved by all of this. We'll watch
Look
it
at that
again.
hit. Look at that. Driving in so deep and scoring his third takedown.
And a 3-point lead. Tirapelle finished second in the Nationals a year ago, third the year before that. Lawrence, a 6th place finisher last year as a freshman.
I tell you right now, Lawrence's length is helping him control Tirapelle with his leverage, and it appears Tirapelle is starting to tire.
Coming up to 30 seconds left in period number 2. Jay Robinson, Mark Johnson, the opposing coaches in the opposite corners. Both yelling encouragement.
Both served together as assistant coaches, yet you know where.
Yeah. Where 6 of the 11 Big Ten coaches either spent time as undergraduates or coaches at Iowa.
Yep. They call him Gable trained. Boy, he's working him hard from top. I'm surprised that this match has turned out this way so far, but there's still 2 minutes to go.
Oh, it's going to be a great third period. 6-3. Upset in the making here right now. Jared Lawrence, the number 2 seed, against Adam Tirapelle. Not only number 1, but number 2 in the country. And the defending Big Ten champion. No rest for the weary. Tirapelle now with the starting up top.
I believe he's going to go work on the feet. But he's got a lot of work to do.
Down 4 points.
Those tie-ups are tough in there when they get in. Now front head attempt, front head and arm as we call it, by Tirapelle. But they were at the edge.
1:13 to go. The crowd is anticipating a whale of a finish. And for Illinois fans, Tirapelle's got to do something quickly.
Lawrence made a move in there, but it wasn't like the successful ones. It was like a 3/4 move that time.
But you know, he is still pressing the offense. He's not trying to ride this one out, even with a 4-point lead. Under a minute to go now. Tirapelle of Illinois, the defending champion, in trouble. Down by 4. Jared Lawrence, second place finisher a year ago, looking to move up a notch. The big notch.
Oh, there's a nice move. There's a nice move.
Now there's
the takedown.
All right. 33 seconds to go. It's a 2-point match. A good look at Adam Tirapelle. Both he and Lawrence looking at the scoreboard.
I think he'll turn him loose. Well, he didn't do that. Oh, there. Oh, near side cradle. I don't know if it's one of the better ones. The hands broke, but if he would have caught that, that would have been big points, back points. But it also used up some time
and
to
now
score
the
these
escape,
takedowns.
they gave him the escape. They gave the escape to Lawrence, so now it's 3 points with 10 seconds to go. Can Lawrence hold on? Can Tirapelle make something happen quickly? Doesn't look like it.
No, I don't think he's going to do it. He's blocked him off.
And Jared Lawrence is the winner. 9-5 over defending champion Adam Tirapelle. Quite a match. There's your winner. And big points for Minnesota. We'll be back. Coming up next, the undefeated TJ takes center mat.
That's Coach Zaleski's son, Zach.
And here is TJ Williams, undefeated. He has lost 1 match in his entire career, and that was the Big Ten in the national semifinals last year. Lost that one. He is a 2-time defending Big Ten champion. He has a national title from 2 years ago. 72-1 for his career. As we look at the standings, Minnesota maintains a commanding lead, but Iowa has moved ahead of Illinois into first place, and that loss by Adam Tirapelle certainly helped the Hawkeyes.
Yes.
TJ Williams against Luke Becker from Minnesota. Becker, the 2nd seed, 7th ranked in the United States. Williams, of course, won across the board. These two met a year ago, and Williams with a 10-4 win then, and has subsequently beaten Becker 2 more times, starts quickly and gets the takedown.
Gets that good solid first takedown. He's got great penetration and quickness.
And brother Joe in the corner, one of the assistants at Iowa.
right.
who preceded TJ both at Iowa and at Mount Carmel High School here in Chicago, where TJ and Joe were consistent state champions. Think back, we watched him as a freshman in high school. Now,
a year or two ago. Well, now we got TJ made a move in, and he was blocked by Becker. And now it's a stalemate call, so they're back again.
2-1 lead for Iowa. TJ Williams, again, we mentioned this in the Open. If he runs the table, if you will, winning here at the Big Ten and then winning the Nationals again, he will go through his Iowa career as the winningest wrestler in Hawkeye history. And when you think about the legacy of Iowa wrestling, shall we say that's saying something?
It certainly is. Now, oh, another takedown by T.J. Williams. Now that has to do with won-loss percentage. There are those that have won more matches.
Yeah, because T.J. went to junior college for a year.
Right, but he will have the best won-loss percentage in the history of Iowa wrestling, which is almost unfathomable.
He was a 4-time state champion in high school. His brother Joe, a 3-time NCAA champion.
Oh, my gosh.
And look at Becker.
A shoulder roll by Becker. And, boy, a nice move by TJ to get the escape.
Points are flying. It's 5-3 for TJ. You have to watch the speed of TJ Williams. And right there, you show, there's Joe.
There's brother Joe.
On the staff here for Jim Zaleski at Iowa. Barely a minute and a half gone by in the first period. We've had a match worth of action here.
Right at 5-3 already.
Williams with a pin and a major decision in his 2 matches in the tournament. Becker with a major, 2 majors.
Yeah. Well, I think it seems to be pretty obvious. These are the 2 best in this weight class. Oh.
TJ going for the takedown. Does he get it? Yes, he does. 7-3. We've still got a minute left.
Yeah. This one might be one of those 20-somethings.
He's going to. TJ will permit the escape.
Yep. You look at his brother Joe to get that suggestion. Oh, another great straight-ahead double. Wonderful quickness and penetration.
There's your 2 for 1. And again, the escape. It's now 9-5. 14 points here in the first period. That's more than the Bulls score sometimes. Am I allowed to say that? They're getting better. They're getting better. No letters, please.
And we've got a little ankle band.
Anklet, yeah. Anklet repair. They just don't make that Velcro like they used to, Ken. In your days, what? They used to tape it, right?
No, that was before that. We had no ankle bands.
Remember? Yeah. Just used to choose upside. Do you remember the one year at Purdue? Purdue wrestler, his headgear kept slipping off, so he just taped it to his head and finished out the match. Right. About 5-6 years ago.
That's a possibility to keep those things on. Now that's the end of the period.
9-5. T.J. Williams, Luke Becker. Williams leading.
There's Joe again, brother Joe.
Very calm, very cool, and once again the permitted escape to start period number 2. Joe Williams has never lost in Big Ten competition.
TJ.
TJ, I'm going to do that. Thank you. The only time he lost was in an overtime sudden death or sudden victory match. And that again was the semifinal on last year's Nationals. Oh, Becker's hanging in there. He's only down 3 points.
Yes, but he's well, he did get that nice takedown, but TJ has shown that he can, for the most part, score these takedowns almost at will, not completely, obviously.
Becker, a top 6 finisher in the Nationals a year ago.
See, we got a situation here where, you know, that Becker has to, he's going to make the shot, and he hasn't done the attack. Now TJ's going to come back and do it, but he's going to run out of real estate, I think. Yes, he did.
TJ off the mat, Becker off the mat. At the extremities outside the circle, so back will come. No points. Still a 3-point lead for Iowa's TJ Williams on the left against Minnesota's Luke Becker.
Now, there's got to be some increase in the intensity here. And that's should be the man that's behind.
This is almost like a symphony. The first movement starts out presto, and then we're in a sort of lento phase, and it's a big build-up for the third movement. How do you like that? You think that'll work?
You know, my experience with the opera is just a little short, but I've been able to enjoy that now and then.
Thank you. Just looking for an analogy. 10 seconds to go here. Double under
By Becker, but 7 seconds in the period.
Only 1 point scored in the second period. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Becker getting instructions from Jay Robinson and his staff about how they want to handle. They'll ride him out. Try to. TJ Williams leading by 3.
Ooh, that length of TJ's. Boy, he's quick.
The legs on him are just amazing. The quickness, the speed of the legs and the feet. Doesn't quite get out there.
You get a switch action there that we don't often see in this day and age, but he's built for it. Lanky guys can take that switch and make it work.
Williams with a fall and a major decision in the previous 2 matches, and there's the escape. 4 points. Becker with 2 major decisions. Becker from Cambridge, Minnesota.
Oh, almost a counter attack. But TJ didn't quite finish it, wasn't able to make it. Countered well by Becker.
Clock approaching 1 minute to go here in the third period.
Oh, nice high crotch move to the offside by Williams.
Well, 6-point lead now for TJ.
TJ looks like he's wrestling really well right now, and this is the time of the year to do it. Watch the action here. Boom. Pulled that leg right to him, drove the shoulder in, got the takedown.
And that could really be the finishing touch there. You could see the chagrin as well as the pain on Becker's face. Look what happened to me. And the escape point. Becker, of course, only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a tough, solid sophomore. There's no question about that.
Made the finals as a freshman. He's still got 2 years of eligibility left, and he's not going to have TJ to be kicked around by anymore.
And currently ranked number 5 in the country.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Becker sending TJ into one of the cameras. TJ's okay. Final seconds here, 13-7. TJ Williams well in command, well on his way to a third straight Big Ten title.
9 seconds now. If TJ gets the takedown, he gets an 8-pointer, which would add a little bit more to that team total, a bonus. But look at Becker. Oh, he got it. He got it. That's a major decision.
Major decision adds for points, and that will do it. What performance by TJ Williams right here. You don't think he's going to get it, just grabs that left leg with the right arm, and there you have it. 73-1, some way to finish out your Big Ten career with the Nationals to go, and the Nationals are going to be at Iowa City. We'll have more of the 165-pounders coming up. Another three-peat could be. Lederman along with Ken Kraft, our Fox Sports Net crew, ready to bring you the 165-pound match of the Big Ten Championships here at Welsh Ryan Arena at Northwestern. You're looking at Matt Lackey of Illinois. He is the number 2 seed in this tournament, 6th ranked in the country. A 26-7 record on the year, and his opponent, a 2-time defending Big Ten champion. There he is, Donnie Pritzlaff from Lyndhurst, New Jersey, migrated west to Wisconsin, and boy, aren't the Badgers happy to have him. 37-1 on the year, and the Big Ten champ last year, the year before, finished 4th as a freshman.
And the defending NCAA champion, I think you mentioned, he is awfully good. He comes out of a family, his cousin wrestled at Penn State and was an NCAA champion. And they wrestled on the same kids club back in New Jersey. Boy, they're into each other's head face, setting things up here. Oh,
Pritzlaff shoots the leg.
Not a scramble.
These two met back in February. Pritzlaff winning 6-3.
Okay. Lackey was a great high school wrestler out of Moline, Illinois. 2-time state champion. Oh, boy. They almost used exactly the same takedown attempt. Yeah, it was coming off that hand-wrist action and then going for that deep leg.
Under 2 minutes to go, first period, still no score. The officials in this one, Kevin Tan and Pat Fitzgerald. Tan with the whistle. Pritzlaff a year ago defeated Minnesota's Brad Pike by a 6-2 count.
And Lackey beat Pike.
And Lackey beat Pike
in a last-second takedown to win that match in the semi.
3-1.
And watch that one carefully, and it was a tough, competitive match, and Lackey got that takedown right at the end of the match.
Pritzlaff was also a fourth-year senior, which is more and more unusual in this day and age of collegiate athletic, where everybody gets one redshirt season, it seems.
Yeah, he came in and went right to the mat that freshman year.
Lackey is a sophomore, and I believe he is also a true sophomore.
Well, my memory is he's a redshirter, but
and yeah,
boy, they're trying to solve each other's defense. They've come close a couple times, but haven't been able to consolidate it.
we're having our crack research staff working on that issue there. We should have an answer for you shortly. And as usual, Ken Kraft is right.
Oh, you mean for the first time?
No. You win the bottle of official designer water. No scoring as we come to the end of the first period. Donnie Pritzlaff. This is back to you against Matt Lackey. Pritzlaff, Wisconsin. Lackey there from Illinois. Pritzlaff, we told you, 2-time defending Big Ten champ. Lackey, his first trip to the finals.
Ball start by the top man, Lackey. There's a good shot of him.
These matches have moved very, very quickly. Have not seen a fall yet. And here's our first point of the match as Pritzlaff gets the escape.
Well, they kept the action going, and they haven't. What happens oftentimes, they stayed in the center of the mat.
Very close match. 30 seconds gone. Now Wisconsin with that very slim 1-point lead.
This could be one of those one takedown matches. Whoever gets the takedown wins it.
Well, Lackey and Johnny Clark of Ohio State went at it in the first round. Actually, it was 26-11 before they called it off, you know, in a technical fall.
Right.
37 points in a match.
Well, both defenses of these two are awfully good. You're generally not going to see a lot of points scored against either one of these guys.
Barry Davis, the coach of Wisconsin, another former Iowan. I think, you know, Barry ought to go after the Iowa Sports Information Department. They got a picture of Barry in there from his, I don't know, maybe 6th grade. They show him in the Iowa history books, in the record books. He looked like about 12 years old.
Well, he's got that youthful look even today.
Yes.
He was a great 3-time national champion and silver medalist in the Olympics.
And, of course, Mark Johnson. Take a look at his photo. His competitor's photo, how he looks like. Charles Atlas, boy. Olympic team member, too. So, Mark Johnson.
That's right.
Outstanding career. Meanwhile, we're down to the final seconds, and we're still in a 1-point match with 2 minutes to go.
Well, now, this is going to be interesting. Okay, Illinois obviously chooses down.
Let's see what Pritzlaff does. Seems like every point is precious in this match. Don't see any permitted escapes here, at least not yet.
Well, we didn't see much of emotion by Lackey either on the whistle. He's just trying to maybe set his base. Now he's going to work. Maybe he's going to move back up into a standing turn of some sort. He's working that sit out.
Pritzlaff holding on. It's got the hands locked.
Now he's up and out.
There we go. Now we're tied. 30 seconds gone by. The specter of overtime looming.
Oh. Now Lackey's making the shot to that left leg of Pritzlaff.
Pritzlaff, the senior. Lackey, as we told you.
Oh!
And look at the takedown. Lightning quick by Donnie Pritzlaff.
And actually, what we saw there was an action by both wrestlers attacking, and Pritzlaff had the better position, and that's how he got that takedown.
And he leads 3-1, 60 seconds to go.
Both men attacked, and Pritzlaff had better position, and that was the score.
45 seconds left. A 2-point lead.
And Lackey's having a little trouble figuring out that escape.
Well, Pritzlaff sent him back down to the mat. Thought Lackey was just about looking at a stall, possibly.
Stall on Pritzlaff. A warning. There's the escape.
And it's now a 1-point lead. 23 seconds to go. The stall on the red corner. That is Donnie Pritzlaff. All right, 23 seconds to go.
Now Lackey's going to have to fire something.
15. Lackey tries to shoot the legs. 10 and counting. Pritzlaff just wants to ride this one out. 5, 4 seconds to go. We go back to neutral. And the Big Ten championship decided in the next 4 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and Pritzlaff holds on.
Okay. A 3-timer.
Well,
now let's take a look here. We're going to see both guys shoot, see? But Pritzlaff had better position, and Lackey got his feet too far in front.
And that was the difference, a 3-2 decision for Donnie Pritzlaff and a 3rd straight Big Ten championship. Back with more right after this. Built up a 7-point lead for second place. Minnesota looks to be far and away the champion. There is Otto Olson. His real name is Eric, but Otto is sort of short or long for OT, which is where he likes to take his opponents. He is a 50-year senior, ranked number 2 in the country, and the number 1 seed at 174. hurt last year, and he is back with a vengeance. And his opponent, an upset finalist, Ryan Hieber from Ohio State. Hieber, a redshirt freshman in more ways than one, as you can see. But Hieber, unranked in most polls, but knocked off the number 2 seed Gabe McMahon of Iowa 9-5 to get here. So it's Hieber in the Ohio State colors against the Maize and Blues, Otto Olson.
Yes, this one's always a big one when you get those two schools out there. Football, wrestling, whatever.
Michigan, Ohio State, and this will be the only matchup like it in these championships.
It's just quite a surprise with Hieber moving into the finals, and they tell me that he's come on well late in the season. 25-14 overall is his record this year.
Olson, 31-2, and again, an accomplished wrestler who tore up his knee ligaments early last season and had to miss the whole year, or most of it.
As a matter of fact, a year ago in the Midlands, he wrestled none other than Joe Williams, and of course he was second to Joe, but he is an awfully good wrestler.
Just the start of things here. First 35 seconds of period number 1. Olson of Michigan, Hieber of Ohio State. We are scoreless.
In Hieber's match in the semifinals, he used some takedown to the back moves that were Greco-Roman in type, the Olympic Greco-Roman style upper body throws, and I'm sure that Otto Olson is very aware of those holds and those throws.
Hieber at one point cracked the top 20 at 18, and there Olson. Oh, not quite.
Not quite. Very close. Coach McFarland thought that may have been a takedown from Michigan.
I think we gave you Hieber's record is 25-14. He's been a busy guy. Olson 31-2. These two met back in February, and Olson won it.
Oh, by a fall.
Yeah, inside of 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Action has seemed to slow down some with these last two matches. The pace of it. The first matches were.
Oh, nice.
We say that Otto Olson comes up with a takedown. But the energy it seemed in those early matches really seemed to catch from one to the next.
Well, yes, and the smaller guys sometimes they're
sure.
zipping around. Although the Lackey match was one where they were pretty close in competition.
Lackey and Pritzlaff.
Yes.
And that score, by the way, of the Pritzlaff match, Pritzlaff with the riding time gets the extra point. So he finishes with a 4-2 win in that 165 and his third consecutive Big Ten title. Here we are 2-0 in favor of the Michigan wrestler Otto Olson with 49 seconds to go, first period. And the escape. So it's 2-1.
Olson looking for a little high crotch pick.
We'll show you Olson's takedown here.
Now sit through, and what a beautiful move as he took Hieber right down to the mat with that great sit through move.
30 seconds to go as we're back to live action, and Olson trying to press an advantage here, gets another takedown. It's 4-1.
Olson got that leg in on the left side, controlling Hieber's left leg.
10 seconds. And a good first period for Otto Olson of Michigan. 2 takedowns and a 4-1 lead. You can see underneath that wrap on the left leg, there's still a lot of tape there. Souvenir of last year.
Mm-hmm.
As you see both men.
Big win for Hieber in that knocking off Gabe McMahon. Gabe's a real fine wrestler, but Hieber really had it that night.
And McMahon was the second place finisher in the championships a year ago.
Yes, he was. And
Your guy, Mark Bybee, from Northwestern, was the champion.
Yes, he had a great tournament. Wrestled really well.
Olson with a 4-point lead here. We'll fix the headgear and continue. Pat Fitzgerald is the official. Chuck Yabla is the assistant. Yagla, veteran official. We know Chuck.
He's our head referee for these championships. And he'll be one of the officials selected for the NCAA.
Which will be in a couple of weeks, and they'll be doing it in Carver Hawkeye Arena, right?
That's right, Iowa City. It's been a sellout since they opened the ticket sales last year.
That's amazing. That's great. And you know how many that place can seat?
Yeah, it'll be filled up.
20,000.
Well, I'm looking forward to being there. Ooh, Otto did a little step through, which didn't work. There he comes again with it.
And right in front of his coach, Joe McFarland. Joe was happy. And, of course, in the other corner, the veteran and famous Russ Erikson from Ohio State, who does so much work on the Olympic broadcasts.
Yes, Russ has been a great guy for wrestling in all phases of it. For many, many years, wrestled at Wisconsin. Wrestled here in the 1970 NCAA, that same famous year when that man Gable lost. And now we see Hieber coming in, but he's not been able to get control, and Otto Olson might get, no, they go out off the edge.
Nice counter there by Olson as they went off the mat, but Hieber there had his best scoring chance. 5-1, a 4-point lead still for the Michigan wrestler. We're back to neutral here. 40 seconds to go in period number 2. The 174-pounders.
Well, Otto's putting a little bit more pressure.
Seconds.
Olson looks a little frustrated, like he can't get his setups the way he'd like them.
Now he goes in again.
Action in with Hieber, blocked. Oh, underarm spin by Hieber. I think he's done a little Greco-Roman wrestling in his past.
Well, a lot of fury and no scoring as we finish period number 2. There's Ryan Hieber. We mentioned a number 6 seed. And he is up against the top seed in the tournament and the second-ranked wrestler in the United States at his weight class. And Hieber again, only a freshman.
Olson's got that leg in. Trying to control. Now he breaks him down. Now it's a matter whether he can leverage him over toward the back. He's going on that far arm. At this point, he might want to release the leg.
A minute 30 to go in the match.
Yep, stalemate call. Nothing happening. That stalemate means that neither man can or does improve his situation.
1:22 left. There's the escape. And it's now a 3-point lead for Olson in Michigan.
Boy, there's some headbang in there.
Now, these two guys are going at it. Not a lot of scoring, but there's certainly a lot of activity.
Referee Yeager suggested to the head referee to tell those guys to watch out for the butting, the head butting.
Under a minute to go now. And another whistle. Some instructions to Otto from his corner.
Oh, started in, almost got it.
Off the mat they come. 42 seconds to go. Otto Olson denied a championship in part by injury last year, on his way to one now. Hieber, the freshman, certainly acquitting himself well. Can he do better than that? We'll see. He's got 30 seconds to make something happen here.
Well, he's wrestled well. The inexperience showed a little bit in Hieber's case. Notice a little bit of a limp with Hieber as he walked back to the center of the mat.
15 seconds. 3-point margin for Otto Olson.
Oh, gosh, look at Hieber come after him.
Oh, there's a butt. Hieber's going, what's that? Hieber wants a point. And the official told him he's going to get it.
Yeah.
And Olson gave him a little extracurricular right there. Chuck Yagla says to Coach McFarland, sit down. 3, 2, 1, and it's enough for Erik Olson to win a title. The senior from Everett, Washington, is the Big Ten champion at 174 pounds. And you can see he got a little souvenir. There's your champion at 174. The 184-pounder is coming up. Nate Patrick, a senior from Champaign by way of Naperville, Illinois, and suburban Chicago. Number 2 in the United States, the top seed, and he will be going against Viktor Sveda of Indiana from Peninsula, Ohio, ranked 4th in the nation. Patrick, second a year ago, actually had a default because of injury in the championship match. Sveda finished 3rd, both in the Big Tens and the Nationals.
And this year, they're 1-1. They met twice.
Yeah, Patrick lost the first one, won the second one. Sveda won the first 4-3, and Sveda the second 8-4. And Sveda had an incredible win, and I know you saw it in the semifinal in OT, or just about, defeated Damian Hall.
Yeah, that was
Damian
a
Hahn, right?
terrific match, and Sveda is an unorthodox wrestler. He doesn't do everything like by the book, but boy, what a competitor he is. And he had to be a competitor to beat Hahn because he trailed in that match much of the time, and he had to control him the last 30 seconds to win it. And here we go. This should be a good one.
Chuck Yagla is the head referee here. Illini colors, the blue and the orange, of course, worn by Patrick. And Indiana colors, worn by Viktor Sveda.
Sveda.
With some black thrown in.
Yes, of course.
So crimson, cream, and black.
There's a few schools that throw some black in.
Yeah.
Sveda just does things a little different. Oh, boy, we lost an ankle band and a headgear.
I get the impression these two guys are just not the best of friends, just from that first exchange.
It looked a little bit that way. However, they're out there competing.
Sveda, an Ohio native, ranked 4th in the wrestling polls.
Well, as we said earlier, the Big Ten has been just so strong within the conference. I mean, within the nation.
Here we go again. The second time that the headgear has fallen off. And we were just alluding to the match a few years ago where literally it had to be taped to the wrestler's head. And here we might see something not quite that extreme.
Not quite the same, but trainer John Quinn, who used to be at Northwestern, is working on Patrick.
He went south for the weather.
Yeah, he's just trying to get that tape, or that strap tape to make it hold.
When you look at the Big Ten, and the line is arguably the strongest wrestling conference in the country, you could probably eliminate that arguably because Minnesota's ranked 1st, Michigan 3rd, Iowa 4th nationally, 7, 8 Illinois, Ohio State, Michigan State 13, and then Wisconsin, Penn State, and Purdue 23, 24, and 25. So 10 of the 11 Big Ten schools from the top 25.
Yeah, there's no question that, in my opinion, this is the strongest the conference has been at any year from top to bottom.
And if Northwestern hadn't had such tough luck early with seasonal injuries, they might be up there as well, because certainly there's a fine tradition of wrestling here at Northwestern, of which you are a major part, Ken.
Well, thank you. We hope we'll get over all these injuries and be back at it real strong next year.
And you can send the check to the following address. No score here. A minute 30 to go, first period. Sveda of Indiana against Nathan Patrick of Illinois.
Sveda was a little bit the aggressor there. He continued to put the pressure on, and now we see Patrick coming back at it with a shot. Warning green.
And that is against Nathan Patrick. You're allowed one of those, then you are penalized a point.
Well, it was that earlier movement up by Patrick off as Sveda came after him. Then the second time, and referee Yagla hit it with the warning.
You don't want to get socked with a warning inside the first couple of minutes of a match. Not only does that put your mind in a little bit of a turmoil because you've got 5 more minutes to go, but it sets the referee up like as though, well, this fellow might be prone to stall.
That's right.
And you're more likely to get socked with another one that'll cost you at least a point.
Yeah, when you get it early, as you say, it becomes a much bigger factor than a late call on stalling.
And we saw that in the Pritzlaff match at 165, where Donnie Pritzlaff was hit with it in the final second, and it really didn't affect him. He timed that match out pretty well. Knew exactly how far he had to go to get that title, and he certainly did that.
Well, having been a national champion, 3-time Big Tenner, you know, he's got it together.
Still scoreless here at 184.
This one's going to be tough, I think. Almost a nice counter by Sveda, but he just was a little late on the move.
Final 10 seconds of period 1.
Okay, 0-0.
Scoreless through 1. Nate Patrick there against Viktor Sveda.
Okay, Patrick will be in the down position as we start the second. Motion up to the stand and gets it immediately.
First point of the match goes to Illinois. Sveda
deep on the ankle. See, he was really low on that, which looked like it was going to give him an advantage, and now we're into a scramble position. And Sveda is not looking. Oh, who knows what's going to happen? There's such crazy scrambling going on.
This one is getting wild and woolly. 5 to go. Illinois' Patrick there.
We're not sure who's got whom.
Yeah.
Now there are some of the fans yelling too. And he says, and Diego says no control, no takedown.
.45 seconds to go, period number 2, and Viktor Sveda trailing by a point. Indiana's lone representative in the final. Illinois, 5 finalists here. And still looking for its first win. There's 2 more yet to come at 197 and at heavyweight.
Yes, and of course, depending on that outcome and that second place spot in the conference, those 3 matches possibly.
Illinois and Iowa. Minnesota has got the team championship sewed up.
Yep, they've wrapped it.
Final 10 seconds in period number 2. Still a single point in this match. we'll go to the final 2 minutes. For a full half hour of local sports coverage, make sure to check out your regional sports report. Get all the latest news, highlights, and analysis you've been looking for. That's your regional sports report. Tonight at 11 on Fox Sports Net. And while we have a minute as we start the third period with 2 minutes, all sorts of action.
Shoulder roll. Reversal by Sveda.
2 points for the Indiana wrestler.
And he takes the lead. Now, Sveda's going to have to move up or he'll get called for stalling or warned.
He's moving up.
Yeah, he's moving up, putting the leg in.
Sveda, very much the aggressor here. 1:25 to go. He leads by a single point. On the strength of that takedown, on that reversal, rather.
Putting the bar half on. Oh, released it. And Patrick out.
Gets out. We're tied. And the official whistles him back to the center of the mat. Wayne Goldman, the Indiana coach, another Iowa product, has his chance in the chair today, and he's hoping his wrestler will come away with the championship. Under a minute to go.
Oh!
And look at Patrick.
Oh!
Spin out.
Motion, motion.
Nothing yet.
Oh, boy. Sveda made the initial move and almost lost the takedown, but continued to work.
Riding time, not an issue here. And back we'll go. 32 seconds to decide a championship. We are tied at 2.
And riding time is not a factor.
Only 16 seconds now in favor of Sveda, so you need at least a minute.
Well, a last-second takedown will win it. Otherwise, we could see the OT. Boy, Sveda double underhook there and was forcing Patrick.
10 seconds.
Then he
Sveda goes
steps in into the leg. Time's going to be a problem for him.
Patrick looking at the clock. And we are going to overtime. 2-2 in regulation. Now 1 minute of overtime. Our first OT of the meet. There's Mark Johnson,
Now,
Illinois coach.
here we go. There's the hit. Patrick looks like he came all the way around, and look at Sveda scramble. What a great scramble this is.
Back to live action. Clock is running. 50 seconds to go. First point here wins. Scoreless after a minute. We'll go to a ride out.
Now, the key factor here, the new rule this year, the man that scored the first offensive points gets his choice if it goes to the second part of the overtime. And that was Sveda because they don't count escapes as offensive takedowns. But Patrick's in nice. Oh!
Does he have it? Not yet.
Oh,
yes,
he got it. He got it.
There it is, Nathan Patrick.
Oh, boy.
Straight up.
Tough way to lose it. Here, watch this. He's got him up. Now, Sveda's going to try and do a shoulder roll, but doesn't get his shoulders down, and his head hits that mat first. Wow, there again. That was a dive off the board. He didn't make it all the way through.
OT. And Viktor Sveda just took right off as soon as the decision was announced. I don't think he's got a train to catch, but we've got a couple of 97-pounders. Contacts, Aaron Bongo and Carl Coughlin for a wonderful job today. Tremendous help. And all the folks here at Wells Ryan really making this a fine tournament. Great crowd today. And we certainly appreciate all they've done for us. And here is Jon Bush, a sophomore from Palmer, Alaska. Somebody who actually comes down here for the warmth. And he will be facing Pat Quirk of Illinois. Quirk, the number 5 seed, Bush, the number 7 seed. So here are two of the lowest seeds in any event going at each other. Quirk, a senior from suburban Chicago, Clarendon Hills, Illinois, went to Hinsdale Central High School here, ranked 13th in the country.
This is the one weight in the conference that we didn't have a wrestler ranked in the top 2 in the country. And it was a toss-up weight, as we know, looking at the seeds that got to the finals, the 5th and the 7th seeds.
Well, the number 1 seed, Elson, was, Owen Elson of Minnesota was defeated by Pat Quirk. And Jon Bush from Purdue, he knocked off Nick Preston, who was the number 2 seed, on his way, and then beat Ty Matthews of Indiana in the semifinals. So Bush, who's really just getting going here, he's only a sophomore. Again, he's an Alaskan native. 21-6 on the year. These two have never met. Bush also has been slowed by the flu much of the late season, and he's just back in form. Quirk, 25 up, 7 down on the season. He's got 2 falls, and he defeated Elson 3-2. Owen Elson of Minnesota, the number 1 seed, as we mentioned. He has done well in the Big Ten championships. He, as a senior, finished 6th, 4th, and 3rd 2 years, and 8th in the Nationals a year ago.
He's been, I'm sorry, he's really been a solid competitor, as you just stated, for a number of years.
And now he gets his chance at the spotlight.
That's right. And
Illinois needs the points. If they want to hold off Iowa for 2nd place, they must have wins here and again in the heavyweights coming up.
Boy, there's some nice countering action by Bush.
I thought that Quirk was going to score there, and Bush now there was a beautiful re-attack.
Quirk gets the first 2 points.
And I really feel that Bush felt he was going to go off the edge, and all at once he came back on that ankle pick and got the takedown. Working a roll series a little bit, Bush.
Coach Jesse Rivera of Purdue gets his first chance to be in the corner for a finals this year. Mark Johnson's just been alternating between corners the last matches because the Illini have 4 straight.
Yeah, that red-green thing. Now, what do we got here? An
injury time. As we've got Bush with a bloody nose. There's Jesse Rivera. Came his wrestling career on the West Coast. Jesse Reyes. What did I? Jesse Rivera, somebody else. I think he was Jesse Reyes, of course.
Sure.
Well, we have a chance. We'll tell you the broadcast rights to this event have been granted to Fox Sports Net solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of Fox Sports Net and the Big Ten Conference is prohibited. And we're back to action. 40 seconds and counting here in period number 1, the 197-pound match. As Jon Bush had the bloody nose taken care of, and Pat Quirk with the 2-point lead.
Actually, Bush just came out for the escape, so fixed his nose and scored a point.
Yeah. That is Bush on the left and Quirk now on the left. Jesse Reyes, the Purdue coach, in his 9th season with the Boilers, and spent his collegiate career at University of California, Bakersfield.
Coach Reyes, as a competitor, was a great takedown man, and I labeled him the master of the inside trip, and he sure deserved it.
And there's a look at both competitors, Jon Bush and Pat Quirk. Quirk, a number 13 national ranking. Bush, not ranked. Told you, he is a sophomore. Red shirt. And he is on the bottom to start period number 2, trailing by a point.
Looking for some kind of way to build his base and make a escape or reversal move. Trying to get to his feet. Quirk putting a lot of pressure in the upper body area. Well, we haven't seen a lot of guys ride that long in these matches, and Quirk is trying to knock him down, put him on the mat,
building up riding time now. It's 1:15 and counting. And
oh, now Bush did a attempted side roll, came back in, gets the 1 point. Not control, but got the escape.
Mike Allen, the referee, awards the point. The match is tied.
And riding time, of course, is with Quirk at this point. Well, they're attempting to try and figure something out. Referee Allen says, "Wait, guys, that's a stalemate. You're not. Nothing's happening, guys."
That's right. Good look at Bush. All-America at Palmer, Alaska High School.
Well, there's occasionally we do get an Alaskan down here wrestling in the States, or the 48.
Lower 48.
The lower 48.
Every part of the States counts.
Bush.
There's Bush.
Motion in. Oh, the counter attack thing again.
Final 10 seconds of period 2.
Looks to me like that.
I don't think much is happening here.
Not on these, unless he can free that, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
At 1, 2 minutes to go. Jon Bush of Purdue. Pat Quirk of Illinois. There is Bush, the 7th seed in this tournament.
Okay, they chose to stay on their feet that time. Still 2-2. Heavy on the head. Get on his head. Here are the coaches. Coach Erikson, assistant coach to Jesse Reyes, who wrestled for my brother at Triton College many years ago. He was a great wrestler for him.
1:32 left, and we might start to add in regulation. We've seen one overtime match just before. This one tied at 2 with 1:20 to go. Quirk of Illinois, Bush of Purdue. Now Quirk tried to make a move there. Bush was having none of it.
Well, they're trying to put together some series of moves to work, and they're both getting blocked out, it looks like. Oh, we got a warning.
Stall warning against Quirk.
Yes. Now, Coach Erikson especially said, put the pressure on him now, right after that stall warning. Don't know they hurt him.
Under a minute to go, and another stall against Quirk will cost him a point and potentially the match and the championship. 40 seconds and counting.
Still have that riding time thing, though, to be aware of.
And now a stall warning in the other direction.
That's right.
Against Bush. 30 seconds to go. Can you imagine a number 7 seed winning a championship?
Oh!
It happened. Look at Bush tries to shoot.
Boy, made a nice motion, but couldn't get it going. Now that riding time point is good, so it's really a 3-2 match at this point.
Quirk has 1 minute.
There it is.
The reverse.
And that wins it.
Pat Quirk with a takedown, and he had a minute plus of riding time. And there you have it, a game effort by Jon Bush of Purdue, coming from a number 7 seed. But Pat Quirk, who is the number 5 seed, comes in to win the title.
Bush knows he's got to shoot. He makes a shot that was not a good one. Quirk countered for the 2-point takedown.
And there's your winner in big points for Illinois. Pat Quirk, the senior, and he is the champion at 197. The heavyweights coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Well, the crowd is sticking around because the heavyweight and final match is about to begin. Garrett Lowney of Minnesota, ranked number 2 as the seed and number 2 in the country, against John Lockhart of Illinois, the number 4 seed. Lockhart from Mahomet, Illinois, and wrestled at the fine Mahomet Seymour program. But Garrett Lowney's got something no one else in this tournament has, and that is an Olympic medal. Garrett Lowney in Greco-Roman took a bronze in Sydney, and here he is wrestling arms and legs, hands and feet, going for a Big Ten title. Lowney from Freedom, Wisconsin. What a great story. He redshirted a year, then received another redshirt year to train for the Olympics, and came through with a bronze.
Yes, he was one of our 3 medalists in the Greco-Roman team from Sydney, and most people remember the guy by the name of Rulon Gardner, who was a teammate of Garrett's, who defeated the all-time great Carolyn from Russia after, and got the gold in that one. But Garrett did a super job of getting a bronze as a youngster.
At 213 pounds. And Lowney coming back and worked his way into the lineup. He only came eligible second semester after returning from Sydney and has been undefeated since, 16-0. As we told you, seeded second. Lockhart, meanwhile, from Illinois, 27-6 with 6 falls. He defeated the number 1 wrestler in the country at this weight class, Tommy Rowlands of Ohio State. Big upset there. Last second, 4-3 decision.
Yes, this weight class nationally, I mean, compared to the rest of the nation, is really another one of those great weight classes with Tommy Rowlands, as you say, ranked number 1, Lowney, Lockhart. There's any number of heavyweights that could do especially well. Brink of Michigan.
Matt Brink, the number 3 seed. Lowney took care of him. No scoring yet. But the surprise was Lockhart's defeat.
And that was
Tommy Rowlands.
Yes, and that was one of those real tight, tough ones. With Lockhart walking away with more points.
But not that much of a surprise. The two had met earlier in Las Vegas, and it went to overtime before Rowlands won.
Well, I think these two are going to try to see what will happen. We're probably not going to get a whole lot of flurries, but one never knows.
And back to Lockhart and Rowlands for a minute. They met again in a dual meet at the end of the regular season, and it was a 1-point win for Rowlands. Still scoreless here, 33 seconds to go, first period. There's a good look at John Lockhart. He is a 4th-year junior. 3rd a year ago in the Big Ten, 7th at the NCAAs.
Now he's got that front head and arm. And I tell you, he's working it nice. He's gotten behind. Now he's got to bring Lockhart to the mat to score the takedown.
There he
lift.
goes.
And the takedown.
Man, nothing subtle about that.
Beautiful lift.
He just picked him up and took him down. 2-0 for Garrett Lowney. And now here trying to break free. You have a good shot of Lockhart.
And we get a warning against Lowney.
As time expired in the first period. We'll show you the takedown. Now,
watch the great lift. Watch the great lift.
Whoops.
Takes him to the side and right down to the mat.
Gave him a little extra shot with the left knee right here. Watch that. Boom. Right there with the right knee.
Yep. He swept the leg out from under. I should point out that Lowney's a pretty good golfer, too, Mike. He and I played the outing about 3 years ago. Sort of like my game, except he's better.
That explains it.
Nice escape by Lockhart.
That's a point for the Illinois wrestler. Illinois, by the way, has moved into second place and will hold that position ahead of Iowa by virtue of the win at 197 by Quirk. And this, as we mentioned at the top of the show, would mark the lowest finish for Iowa in the Big Ten in better than 30 years. Since 1967, Iowa has not finished lower than second. Of course, it had that great streak of 25 straight years at number 1.
But there was a little surprise. I didn't realize it did go back that far when they hadn't finished below second. It's really quite a run, isn't it, to be that long, that high? And here we are in 01, and they're taking a 3rd place.
Minnesota, of course, will win its second championship, regardless of the outcome of this match. Its second team championship in 3 years. It was the Gophers, of course, who broke that Iowa string back in 1999. Finishing third will be Iowa. Michigan, at this point, fourth. Ohio State will be fifth. Then Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Purdue, Penn State, and Northwestern. 35 seconds to go, second period. Lockhart and Lowney. There is Garrett Lowney.
You know, in every case, Lowney is generally gives pounds away at this weight division. But he can move, and he's got great strength to go with his movement.
The transition from Greco-Roman to conventional, is it harder for people to, obviously there's a lot of back and forth.
Well, yeah, you definitely have to change style. Of course, the Greco being the style where you cannot attack below your opponent's waist. You can't trip, you can't attack the leg. So there's quite a difference in style, but Lowney's been around this game a long while, even for a youngster, so he's made the transition nicely.
Well, he has 2 minutes to go to hold on to a 1-point lead or improve upon it. He is still considered a redshirt freshman, although I believe he's 20 years old, 21 years old.
Yes, he's in his third year there. He got that Olympic red shirt.
Now we get a close-up of the rings that he's got permanently inscribed on his right shoulder.
And the escape.
And it's 3-1.
Assistant coach Marty Morgan in the corner giving a lot of instruction to Garrett Lowney. Make sure his man's got control of the tie. Lockhart tries to go outside single. Didn't get to it.
It's a close-up look at both the wrestlers. They go for it in the Illini. Joe Lockhart, Garrett Lowney.
We're down to about a minute away. It could be Garrett Lowney's championship, but Lockhart still got the shots at it.
Under a minute to go. Garrett Lowney could have an interesting double. Maybe a triple in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
An Olympic medal, a Big Ten championship, and a national title.
Would be a nice run for the year.
It's kind of like what Magic Johnson had with the national title in NBA.
Right.
33 seconds to go, and there you see, no matter what, they can't take his medals away. Or if they do, he'll certainly have a memento.
Oh, Lockhart made a shot, but not. His head was down. Lowney catches him again on the front head and arm. Now he's going to try and spin it behind.
If he does,
Shoulder roll.
he does it.
That's going to probably do it. 15 to go with that kind of a lead. At heavyweight is generally an awfully good lead.
Under 10 seconds, they let the escape happen. Does Garrett Lowney. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. And there is your champion, Garrett Lowney of Minnesota, winning the heavyweight division. The final score, 5-2. We'll be back to wrap things up here in Evanston after this. Well, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota only won 1 match out of 5 in the finals, but more than enough for them to win the Big Ten championship for the second time in the past 3 years. So for Ken Kraft, I'm Mike Lederman saying so long from the 2001 Big Ten Wrestling Championships here at Northwestern University in Evanston. The preceding has been a presentation of Fox Sports Net. So long, everybody.